guys, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a special one for us. So two big things. You guys saw what we're going to be discussing today. But this being Easter week, we have a surprise for you guys. Just like our Savior rose from the grave.
What's up, guys?
We're back. Woo, yeah.
We went on a mission. It only took 3 days, but we rescued Cody from the desert.
Yeah.
Never mind the chapped lips.
I got some chapsticks.
Zach Fett says he lives. Yeah, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it's good to have you guys here. We are Thin Line Defense, your favorite gun gear review channel. I apologize. My dog is outside my room right now whining. We're going to have a very, very fiery discussion, lively discussion tonight about what's happening in our country.
Dude, I'm in a really feisty mood anyway. I'm sure you guys could tell that with us talking. This is probably going to go terribly for me.
Well, I think something I was thinking about, I think all of us would be in agreement that in a general sense, just because something didn't happen before doesn't mean that should continue. For example, the example that I'm thinking of is, just because Hillary wasn't indicted, I don't think that reason in and of itself means that Trump shouldn't be indicted. I think we'd all be in agreement that all we're hoping for as Americans is that there is a fair and balanced use of laws. Yeah. And we are not seeing that at all in this country. Even right from the get-go with Hillary and her whole server, I don't know if you guys remember, I was thinking about it today, that the Navy submarine commander that took a picture of whatever it was in his submarine, and he got lit up.
Yeah.
And then Clinton did far worse.
Well, far worse. So kept secret information on a non-cleared source, right? Multiple sources, but then were told to turn it over and destroyed all the evidence. Yeah. Go out and do that. Go out and do that, please. Destroy evidence before going to court and see how that works out for you.
For anybody, right?
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying.
I think this is a very, Trump has said this before. They're not after me; they're after you. I'm just in the way.
Yep.
And this is Big Truck says it right here. He says, if the left is going to weaponize the political system against us, then we aren't fixing anything until arrest warrants are issued for tons of politicians and their cohorts.
Right. Or just get them out of the position, right?
Yeah.
Just get them out of the position. Honestly, as American citizens, we can't control that. We can't control arrest warrant. We've seen attorney generals turn down cases that should have gone, right? And then prosecute other... what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. The guy that swacked on 4 dudes during the riots. That should have never been brought to court, but it did, right? We can't control that. But what you can control is your votes. That's what you can control.
Yeah. You're thinking of Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle.
But think about this. Put it in perspective. If Russia takes their opposition leader from whatever other party and puts them in jail, we're the first country to be like, well, that's not fair, that's not democratic. Or Venezuela or any of the other countries that are going through this that do the same thing. They'll put their political opposition, they'll put them in prison, or they'll throw poison on them, or whatever the case may be. And we're the first.
This is happening across the country.
Yeah.
I forget what video. I watch a lot of amendment stuff, like First Amendment and stuff like that. But there was somebody that got elected into their local community, elderly woman, she's 70-something year old, got elected in. The first day that she went there, the other one conspired against her and had an arrest warrant put out for misfiling paperwork or something like that. I haven't watched the whole video yet, but misfiling paperwork, and she got arrested and she had to go to jail for it. No joke, dude. And that's the people that, that's the person that the local community wanted in that seat.
Yep. And this is something Big Truck says New York, LA, I'm guessing CHI, Chicago, ain't removing those swamp demons. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that mentality. I've shared this before that here in Washington State, we're a pretty purple state, but it goes blue every time. And people say Seattle controls the state.
Hmm.
The last governor race, if the Washington State GOP would have just gotten 5% more of the vote in red areas, the Republican would have won. But I think these state GOPs, you should not be giving them any money. They're only looking out for their best interests. They're not looking out for your interests. Oh, Croak gave us a $2 super chat. He says, a little something for Cody in the Discord, and I have a guess of what it is. Yep.
It's some feet.
Yeah,
I'm going
guaranteed.
Croak,
It's some
what is
feet.
wrong with your toes?
I need to see a doctor.
So we're gonna be jumping around this. We're gonna be answering. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Can I say one more thing on that whole thing?
Yeah, we're gonna be touching on this a lot.
Okay. So I had already planned on, like in my mind, Dos Santos, or however you pronounce his name, from Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I know about how he's running Florida, now they're permanent list carry and all kinds of stuff, and through COVID and everything, like I went dead set that I'm going to vote for him. Okay. And this is what doing this to Trump is going to do to a lot of people. Now I'm like, whatever, I'm voting for Trump. If he runs again, I'm voting for him. I didn't even want to vote for him. I wanted DeSantis to win. But the way that our country is going right now and how off the rail it is and everything with the U.S. dollar, with, I could go on all night with all the things that are going on. But with everything that's going on, we need somebody that gives 0 Fs in that office.
Yeah, the concern that I have, though, to be devil's advocate, and I see your comment, 223 DMR says, good evening, Jason. But to be devil's advocate on that one, I'm afraid are we going to go back to a neutral, or if Trump were to get elected, is the pendulum swing going to be too far the other way?
And
I said
6 years ago, I would have agreed with you. But now, I want it to swing, dude. I want it to swing so far that it just breaks everything, just takes everything out with it.
Yeah, but I don't want all 4 years of the next term to be just going after like political opposition, like the Democrats, or putting all of them in jail. Yeah, let the congressional oversight committees, let them do some of that. I'm sure it's going to happen, but the president needs to stay out of it. Just like Biden needs to stay out of the Trump stuff. Yeah. He's trying, but
they'll be calling for impeachment the day that he walks through the White House, dude. That'll be ridiculous.
So we're gonna be jumping around this topic. We have questions that are not related to this, so we'll touch on those. We'll talk a little bit. So this is one for Joe. Harry says, Joe, can you let me know what a good brand of electric skateboard is for different budgets?
Oh. Yeah. Do you want me to go over it real quick?
Yeah, dude.
If your budget is below $1,000, go with Viril. They're actually really good quality for what you're buying. But what I would say is save up $2,000, because then you can really get into the market. And honestly, my number one go-to is the Onzra Black Carve version 2. Not version 3, not the newest one. Don't buy that one. You'll hate it. Version 2.
Can you show them the rack?
Yeah.
It's this one.
It's this one. Don't buy this one. No, it's this one. Don't buy that one. This one, way more than that. But buy this one.
That's awesome.
With cloud wheels.
Yeah.
That's all I know from watching those videos. I'm like, if I were to ever buy one, all I know is I need to put cloud wheels on it.
Yep. Black Carve, Onzra Black Carve version 2. Go to Ramatoric's eSkate review, and all my video will have discount codes if you want a discount.
Yeah.
Big Truck says, I'm from Florida and watching the Barry's Barnes episode of What Are the Odds this past week will shine a ton of light on DeSantis. Croak said that's part of the problem, Joe. They're certain they can beat Trump. They're scared of DeSantis. That's part of the reason they indicted him. So that's an interesting take on it. It's
Yeah,
let's
I didn't
indict
think
Trump.
about it like that.
Let's get him to, get his base riled up so he gets the nomination, and then we'll
I
go
don't
after
think
him.
they do though. I don't with everything that going on right now. I don't think they beat anybody. Like if they put Biden up there to run against anybody, he's gonna lose.
I don't know.
It can't be.
The most
If
votes.
not, then the first one that succeeds, like Texas,
Joe,
then I'm moving.
you're talking about the president that got the most votes ever.
80 million.
No
Yeah.
fraud at all.
I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and they might get kicked off of YouTube. But it's just weird that the same voting poll machine that were used in Venezuela were proven that they were rigged. It's the same machines that we use.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Weird.
Mike Farley says, at this point, it feels like we might need to burn it all down and start over. I'd be afraid of that too, though.
Yeah.
No, I still believe in law and order.
We'll see what happens with the dollar. I think that's gonna, whatever happens there, that's gonna really show where our country's gonna go after that.
So here's a super chat from Shadowman. It says, "Hey, all Joe, where's your drink? Where your drink is? Wizard, get your nods. Wizard, get your nods. Wizard."
Thanks, buddy. Actually, today I brought 2. This is the first time I've brought 2 in a long time.
The dude says DeSantis is a great governor, but if he was elected president, he would change just like Bush.
I don't know
Zach
if he's
says-
changed, but he's very, from what I've seen, very political, right? And
Yeah.
very, very calm and easygoing, and that's what you normally want. I agree. Like, I wasn't going to vote for him 100%. But right now, like, everything in such turmoil that you need crazy to fight crazy.
Yeah.
And that's where I stand. I mean, maybe that'll change that could change tomorrow. That could change in an hour. I don't know. But
Right.
right now, that's how I feel.
Hey, so going back to that comment that Big Truck had about that, what are the odds? Was it in favor of DeSantis or against DeSantis?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
It says Sean. Yeah. So it says shine a ton of light on DeSantis. Is that positive light or negative?
Yeah. So Zach says, I'll vote for whoever the nominee is. I'd prefer DeSantis, but if the nominee is Trump, I'll vote for him. Croak, I'll vote for Trump in the general, but if DeSantis is on the primary, that's my vote.
The only
Hey,
thing
Ironsides.
I don't like about Trump, and he is not a Second Amendment advocate.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
True. But all they're going to do, like I think not Jason mentioned that, all they're going to do is go after him for 4 years and nothing will happen.
Yeah.
It'll just be a standstill for another 4 years.
Oh, question for the Cody. It says, Kodiak, have you taken your boat out?
No. So, full transparency, the boat hasn't been out. I dropped it yesterday or the other day, and it almost broke my foot. But thing weighs a ton. But anyway, the reason why I haven't been around is because I got a new job, and I've set up a new office, and that's why. Because before I didn't have anywhere to kind of sit and do the live chat, so I'm kind of transitioning into a new job, and I just haven't had any time with the kiddos and
Cody
The
and I
desert
are
being lost in the
polar
desert.
opposites
yeah.
when it comes to that. Like, when I get into something, I go 100% all in, where nothing else matters but whatever I'm getting into for like a solid 6 months, and then it just tapers off. Case in point, the remote control airplane is sitting on the ground behind me. Cody, he goes and he gets something, like he's really excited, and then when it's time to go all in, he goes 0 in.
No, I go all in. I get all the stuff, and then I don't do it.
Right.
So my wife will say that my hobby is researching new hobbies. So like I'll research it, I'll get all the stuff, and then once I get it, I'm like, okay, now what? Like I don't actually do the hobby.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Right.
Exactly.
Cool to get the stuff in.
Right.
Yeah. Love spending money. Seth
Yeah.
Brooks with some wizard butt blast. Wizard butt blast.
What the heck is that one?
I don't know.
That's a new one.
Harry Andra Black Carb version 2. Andra.
Andra.
Harry says, "What's your channel called again? I'm sub but can't remember."
Ramatorix, Ramatorix, D-Skate, like ESK8 reviews. 3 words.
Big Truck says, "If they weren't scared of Trump, he wouldn't have been indicted." Did you see what was going on in 2020? And yet Biden's in the big chair. Big Truck says they're trying to take Trump out because they are only afraid of him.
I
here we
kind
go.
of feel
So-
that way too, but
Big Truck says Richard Barris with the People's Pundit channel has a ton of info on Trump DeSantis. DeSantis is sinking like a rock and Trump is soaring. Was that
yeah,
before
after
the whole
this,
thing?
right after this, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was some political stuff on the Hill. I didn't watch the whole video. Don't shoot me on this, but somebody had statistics on polls that were taken on if the Hunter laptop would have been released, all that information would have been released before the election, and it was some staggering number. It was like 65% of Democrats that were polled would have voted differently.
Yeah.
Now I don't know which way. You know, if they would have just voted a different candidate in, I mean, I'm guessing that's probably the case, but
Right. So Harry has an interesting question. He says, "Buy gold?" Question mark. And I would say no.
can't do financial advice.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like, I would buy this stuff
Yeah,
because
that will be gold.
because if shit really does hit the fan, that gold's not going to matter. Your
Right.
Bitcoin's not going to matter. Your 401k's not going to matter. So
Because if people don't have money, who are you going to sell gold to? Like,
Yeah.
I understand that gold has been the standard forever, and you could always trade it and do whatever. But if nobody had money, or we're going through the second depression, or whatever you want to, think of what's coming up.
Yeah.
What good is gold going to do you?
Well, and I'll say, if you look at historically, whenever there's been depressions, major recessions in the past, people didn't rely on gold so much to trade. It was usually bartering in goods. So you have you're growing carrots, I have corn. We'll trade and go about it that way, or stuff that could actually help you out, seeds, or like Cody was talking about, some good old fashioned lead. I think that's going to get you a lot farther. Yeah, a lot of freedom seeds. So it's funny. Shadowman says gold, brass, and silver, and Caleb says forgot to add lead to that list.
yeah, because gold only is valuable because we give it value.
Right.
So, if the like he's saying, if the dollar's not, because gold gives the dollar value because it used to be backed by gold, now it's not. So the only reason why that stuff's valuable is because we think it is.
I mean, if you go to Mexico and you just have a bunch of gold on you, what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
Trade it for
I
some
think about
tacos?
it. I think about it here too. Let's just say, crap hit the fan, and you have an abundance of canned goods, and someone comes up to you but you're lacking in whatever it is. You're lacking in protein, or you're lacking in water. And someone comes up to you and like, "Hey, I want to buy some of your canned goods. Here's some gold." Well, how is that going to benefit you in the end of the world type of scenario?
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it would. Are you going to be?
I'm just saying the character on Book of Eli wasn't walking around looking for gold.
He was making lip balm using cat fat, right?
Yeah.
But that's worst case scenario. But
Yeah, absolutely.
we also got to think. So right now,
But
China. Go ahead.
Sorry, I will back up a little bit and say, if you have, a bunch of money in a saving account and you're worried about it being worth nothing, then yeah, gold would be a good way to preserve that wealth until hopefully we come out of this, and then you sell the gold and you get your money back. I would say that, but I mean, technically you can leave the dollar in there, and if we come out of this, then the dollar will be worth more. But
That's if the dollar survives.
Yeah. And,
Well,
like
it's
Cody
gonna
was saying,
survive.
we're
'Cause
talking
you-
use case scenario.
you know what's going to happen after that. World War III is going to happen after that.
So like right now, was it China, Russia, Brazil, and India?
Yeah, and somewhere in Africa, I think.
Yeah, but they're trying to basically trade like a different currency, probably the
Chinese.
what is it,
Chinese
yuan?
one.
Yeah,
Juan.
they're trying to trade that with OPEC for oil now. So they're trying to take the value away from the dollar. Everybody else in the world's economy uses the dollar to purchase.
Yeah, but could you imagine? Could you imagine whoever it is? I don't even care, Democrat, Republican, or whatever. Whoever gets into office next, like, do you know what? We've had enough. Put all of the rigs out into the Gulf. Start the Keystone back up, and then we're the number one distributor of oil.
Yeah, we should be.
Right.
Could be.
You want to come out of that? Like, I'm not even into all this stuff. I've never even gone to school for any of it. You want to get out of all this? Let's get back to being self-sufficient again. How about we don't have everything made in other countries?
Well, and I think a good way to start that is in our own lives. Like, do we have a garden? I'm not talking about enough to feed your whole family all year, but maybe to supplement what you do. I think there's some huge benefits to doing that in our own lives and being self-sufficient in our own lives. This is something I think would help you out leaps and bounds more than buying gold. Pay off your debt, right? Stock money away for a rainy day. Get a few days, maybe a few weeks of food storage saved up. Like that's gonna go way farther in providing you mental security than a pile of gold in your gun safe will.
Or at least have a plan.
Yeah.
Just like know what you're gonna do and if stuff does hit the fan. Because honestly, if something does get that bad, debt is gone too. But at the same time, like we were saying, if we do recover, at some point the government's gonna look for their money. So kind of gotta consider that as well.
Well,
but I mean,
dude, I'm looking for like a Mad Max scenario, and I already got the car for it, dude. Like, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Big Truck says, I'm a Republican executive committee vice chair. I've got nothing against DeSantis, best governor in the country. He's not a president yet. Croak says, not casting any judgment on that episode, Big Truck, but huge grains of salt on anything about DeSantis right now. There's lots of Trump supporters stirring crap and doing oppo attacks. Huge grains.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be careful. I think it's okay to say, look, don't take our word for it, right? We're a bunch of idiots at home, drinking water, drinking beer, having fun, and just talking about stuff that interests us. Study it yourself. Don't take our word for it.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
But what I don't want to happen is I don't want Trump and DeSantis to like beat each other up. That's what I like, because Trump's already put out like an anti-DeSantis ad.
Oh yeah, that's all he's gonna do.
Yeah, and I don't want that.
Yeah,
We
I
need
don't either.
conservatives, period. Maybe not just Republicans, but conservatives.
Especially because DeSantis could be vice president, right? And then he could run. Trump can only do one more term.
Right.
So then DeSantis could run next term. And if you bash him down, just like Kamala Harris and Biden, if you bash him down like that, then you don't have that anymore.
Yeah, that's a perfect example because she called him a racist in the primaries. Yeah. Like, they never recovered from that. Like, they try to act like they're all buddy-buddy, but everybody questions that. Like, but you called him this, back in the primaries, and now y'all are best friends? That doesn't make any sense.
Yep. So Kale says, think what would make good bartering items. That's what you want to stock. Cal Conservative says, I think Trump's greatest accomplishments was causing the swamp to show itself. It's pretty scary how corrupt this country is. We wouldn't have known how deep it goes without him. Iron Sight, rice and beans, guns, ammo, tobacco, booze. Yeah. Croak says you can harvest some good crops with freedom seeds.
I was about to say that when Jason like you should grow a garden, I'm gonna be like, I do have a garden, but the only thing I planted are freedom seeds.
I tell people that all the time. They're like, "Well, why do you save up freedom seeds instead of like food and stuff like that?" I was like, "Because when stuff hits the fan, I'm gonna go get the food with my freedom seeds."
Right.
It's a special tool.
I have. What is it? Is it 3 weeks? So I have 3 weeks to get food in my belly.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Prepper Book Club says it won't stay SHTF forever. Precious metals are good to collapse wealth and hold value.
Yeah, that makes sense. For sure.
Very true, Cody. I know people in PNG that use seashells as money. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Get gold if all your other preps are squared away. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, because what are you going to need in the immediate? Get that.
Yeah.
If you're good there, yeah, why not
prioritize?
Yeah. Start thinking 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year.
Here you go. Big Truck says meds, guns, ammo, food, water. The dude has the same list: meds, guns, ammo, food, water, porn.
Hey, in all honesty, how much porn has persuaded all the economy to do certain things? Look at VHS, DVDs, Blu-ray. Porn drove all that, but
Yeah.
it'll be a different story if we're in the apocalypse. So,
Big Truck says the fact we're even talking about these historic possibilities of collapse speak to just how inept this administration is.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
G Padilla, what's up, guys? How you been? Misfits in the
buddy?
house says, let me know when y'all get back to gear and guns. Hand purple blue peace. He's giving us some peace signs. We'll get back to that. This is just happening this week.
We're only doing this because the boss is away.
Yeah.
Y'all know how that works.
Richard Harris says Midland, Texas can support the USA with oil for the next 200 years. That is, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and you know what else we used to count on was the oil reserves.
Yeah.
Oops.
Strategic oil reserves.
Yeah.
She gone.
Didn't really help us like they were supposed to.
Because what happens if we go to a world war, right? So most of these countries that we fight with, like any of the Middle East countries, they'll be like, guess what? USA, no more oil for you.
Yeah.
And we're stuck. And
Well,
it's going
look
to take
at all of Europe and Russia right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's going to take us months, to get our, all of our refineries up or any of that. So it's just going to be messy. That's what the oil reserve is for. It's a stockade for, pumping the war machine. And now we're going to be behind if that happens.
Golly. So Bailey Luke says, what's up with the dead guy on stream?
Right?
Easter special.
Yeah.
This is a good point, though. Zach Fett says steel sharpens steel. And I think this is what we're talking about, where we, the whole adage of, weak times create strong men. I think you're going to be seeing that a lot more over these next, let's say, 4 to 6 years.
Yeah.
And we might need that. We might need a kick in the butt.
Do you know what I wish? I don't care left or right where you stand or whatever, as long as you can be civil.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish this small minority of people that are just off their rocker, whether it be on the right or the left, would just shut up.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else would come to the table and be like, all right, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see here. Big Truck says the left wants DeSantis to run against Trump to split conservatives. George Soros specifically said that himself about 2 months ago. Croak says, I just had an epiphany. SHTF might already be here. Signs of the zombie apocalypse are right in front of us. Cody on the stream with pale blue eyes.
They've always been blue. I just been in a dimly lit room.
Yeah, they look really blue.
Yeah.
Harry says, I'm going to buy as much blow as possible now, just in case.
That's the case. You got to be prepared, bro.
Yeah.
So Mike Farley says, Biden is a puppet that doesn't know where he is half the time. Harris is a prop to say, look, we have a female person of color vice president.
Who's the puppet master, though? That's the scary thing to consider.
Mm-hmm.
And And I think what's even scarier is like, I have no idea. I don't know
I,
who does have an idea.
I have guesses and thoughts, but
We can talk about that after stream.
yeah.
We don't want them to
Or
know.
Cody would be actually dead.
Yeah. I'll get Clinton in my sleep.
Yeah.
Bailey says, I'm going to hold the world's post-apocalyptic lube supply. See Discord for details. I did see it.
Oh.
And good luck stocking that. Big truck, Kodiak, bug out bag stacked with busy Asian porn. Golly. Harry, this is all going perfectly to the shadow government's plan to a T.
Yeah.
The dude, what oil reserve? We sold it all to China. Here we go. If crap breaks down, there's no coffee and there's no Coke. Yeah. So what are you going to do? For those that we're through our comments.
Yay.
How does that happen?
I skip a
Jason
lot.
running it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, did we scare a lot of people off?
No, I skipped a bunch, but
Yeah.
I think this is something that is important for us to talk about. Like, this isn't a time for us to be more divisive. I don't think. I think this is a time to. I think it's okay to draw a line in the sand and say, you know what, no more. I'm not going any further. But it doesn't mean that we have to be angry a-holes about it, right?
Absolutely.
Like I said, I want to get rid of, not rid of, wrong word, but I want to get through all the crazy and have civil conversation. That's what I want to have.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because there's a lot of just ignorant people out there, and we could talk about that Tennessee shooting, that transgender person that shot up that school. Like, there's a lot of mental disorder out there, and you look at what's been happening, where you've basically had one side of the aisle, the left, has been telling these folks for the past year that all the right wants to do is destroy them. And then you're surprised when some person takes that to heart and goes and shoots up a school. You shouldn't be surprised. But then they're like, well, we didn't mean this. Like, you're stoking hate and fear in people. And that's not what I think a vast majority of people on the right are just like, look, live your life. Just stop trying to force it down my kid's throat.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Freeborn says, I'm late. Did the revolution start yet? Not yet, buddy.
Yeah, it's kind of started.
Croak says it'll be televised.
So Luke's comment is bringing up, they just stopped another person recently that was talking about shooting up schools and churches and stuff like that. So
Interesting.
I saw that just before we got on here.
I saw this comment, and I was thinking of like that someone shot up a power substation. He says they just stopped another transformer in Colorado.
Yeah.
I was like, what? When did that happen?
That might be the only politically correct name we have left. So.
Transformer. Autobots. Rollout. Big Truck says, we conservatives have to band together. The left did this years ago and have steamrolled their way through our institutions. And this is something I think this is an interesting question that I had today at work. Is this a self-correcting issue? If you have trans rights and you have people that don't want to have kids anymore or they want abortions, well, then my mind is thinking, okay, well, that side of the aisle are going to die off soon because they're not reproducing. They're not pushing that thought process and agenda on people except for in educational institutions. Is that enough to keep their ideas going?
Yes, because for every one of them, you have somebody else saying, I don't want to raise a kid in this environment.
Yeah, that's true.
You have level-headed people saying the same thing. So,
well, I think the other part too is the reason why you don't see people on the right like burning and pillaging is because we have jobs. We're busy raising kids and trying to earn money.
Yeah, I want to create a sign and go stand on the steps of City Hall. I do.
You can
I
go
know.
for it.
It's protected by the First Amendment.
Yeah. So Shadowman says, so Caltech is spicy aging aging, spicy again. Saw a guy buy 2 today at the gun store. I have my the gun that Joe says is the ugliest gun, the Kel-Tec Sub 2000, and I love that thing, man. That thing, it's not my favorite gun to shoot, but I really like shooting it. But I'll say this: for a $350 gun, I probably have another, oh man, easy $400 into it in terms of upgrades.
And what's funny, in a PSA dagger is a better gun than that and cheaper.
No, the Kel-Tec Sub
Changed my
2000
mind.
is the 16-inch one,
Oh,
not the pistol. It's the one that folds in half
Well, it did get some negative publicity.
because of
Yeah.
Tennessee. Yeah. Caleb says, I would love to go back to the time when people could have differences of political ideas but not hate each other for having them. Well, yeah, I think there's a huge misconception there, Caleb, where people feel like, oh, well, you disagree with me, it's because you must hate me. And that's what the left,
Right.
I feel like, has been pushing for so long. They disagree with you because they hate you. And it's like, even the most, I would say, some of the most extreme people in the ideology of transgender, gender dysphoria type of thing, which would be Matt Walsh, he doesn't hate transgender people. He really feels like, look, it's sad that people are telling you that you're something that you're not. And all I am doing is speaking the truth. And that's how he honestly feels. He doesn't hate them for it. But because he's speaking the truth, they feel like he's personally attacking. That's where the whole thing of words can be violence.
but
Right.
it's the minority that is on that scale, that level. We just need to stop with the minority. Like you can't please everybody. We know that. So when a kid in a store throwing a temper tantrum, right? Everybody in the store looks at that kid. 100% of everybody around them is staring at that kid. That's how I feel like these people on the extremes, right or left. They're the kids throwing the temper tantrum. So there's one kid throwing a temper tantrum with 50 people just staring at them. Like, let's start ignoring that temper tantrum and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, there's something the dude says: hard to find common ground and have civil conversations when the other side is all on psychotropics. Prepper Book Club: all these shootings won't stop till we get rid of some of those pesky 3-letter agencies. So, your favorite libertarian, rest in peace, Cody. Michael Farley: Crowder talks about this all the time. He points out that the leftists have been convincing everyone that words are violence, and if it's violence, you have to defend yourself with physical violence. And there's a disconnect, I think, on that side of the aisle where they feel like violence is very it's an objective thing, right? And so me speaking to you just because you don't like what I'm saying doesn't mean that I'm committing violence against you. And that's
I would say what's worse is people with that mindset, or the people that kept stepping back instead of drawing a line in the sand and saying I'm not moving from here, stepping back and stepping back and stepping back and allowing this to continue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's worse?
It's been going on for years
Right.
and years and years. Alpha Dad, Hop and Brass Facts live right now. They're paying homage to Not Jason.
Whoa.
What? I don't even know those guys. Actually, I have met them one time. Croak says, the cure ain't elections. The cure is taking back the schools and universities. Elections can do that to some degree, but it starts from the ground up. Indoctrination is what got us here today. Stop.
Well, the Democrats have been working on universities and schools and stuff since the 70s. So we are way behind.
Right. It's
probably even earlier than that, probably 50s and 60s.
Harry says, just make sure you don't misgender them at the start of the civil conversation.
Yeah.
It's ma'am.
It thing.
Yeah. Richard Harris said, just read the book Atlas Shrugged, a novel by Anne Ryan. Great book. Hard. She was a big conservative. That's a really, really good book. I think
Reading.
1984 is better. Different type of book, though. But 1984 is like, whoa, we're living this right now.
Jeez. Now we're talking about bucks.
I know. I'm sorry, Joe.
Let me know when you guys start talking about good things again.
All right, let's talk about gear.
Gear.
Yeah, gear.
It's not.
Yes. Yeah, like that plate. I'm not wearing a plate carrier today, so I'm sorry.
Neither of you guys are. What? This is my tried and true LA police gear, bro.
I got it. I'm here. I'll just hold it like this the whole time.
Yeah.
It'll protect you.
I think Joe, I think you would like this plate carrier more than that one.
Which one is that? The
Prove
K0?
it.
No, this is the LA Police Gear, just the essential carrier.
Yeah, I
Oh.
do want to try that one. Like $50, Jason said.
$50. It doesn't
Yeah.
have the cells on the elastic,
Which
so
I'll
those
never
can
use.
fit, like magazines in it. There's no admin pouch,
Which I'll never use.
Yeah.
but dude, this is a
Dude,
Joe
that-
plate carrier.
This admin pouch, like, I don't know what you'd put in here because you
Paper.
want the plates to be tight.
Condoms.
Yeah.
Yes. Cody foot photos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would really like this, Joe.
Probably. You should
It's
send
gonna,
it to me.
it's gonna be your no.
I like that pattern a lot.
Well,
lot.
and then I
Which one
have a it's the M81 Woodland.
Oh.
I have a HRT Maximus placard in Woodland that goes on top.
Beautifully with it. I have my HRT shirt on. I like this shirt.
Yeah, it's a good shirt. And it has
way
a
better
flag.
than the Magpul shirt that I got sent. I had a hole in it.
What jerk did that?
I don't know.
Croak, Tennessee Tranny, and the Parade Punk both had sub 2000s. The dude with the temper tantrum has grown up and now making decisions for Bud Light.
Mm.
Oof. That's sad, man. Prepper Book Club says Atlas Shrugged is thick. Rand was a libertarian, actually. Rand Paul is named after her. Oh, okay.
Oh.
As a former homeschooled student, I would suggest that if you have the ability to do so, you should homeschool your kids. And that goes back to what we were talking about before. Like, it's tough when you work. The one thing that we did before, we had there was a homeschool co-op, and it was really cool because there was all these moms. None of them worked. I mean, they're moms. They're stay-at-home moms, but some of them had like art degrees and English and literature degrees, and so the kids rotated amongst all these moms, and they got good quality education, and every day was a new thing. And you only had to deal, the class, quote unquote, class wasn't big. It was like 8 kids, and you only had the kids 1 or 2 times a week. So it was a way to do education, but not have to do public education. And a lot of local places have some type of homeschooling co-op. I'm sure you could find it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Good idea.
That's
As
a
long
big
as you
thing.
trust the people. If you're just picking random neighbor and dropping your kids off, I mean, that's the same as going to public school.
Yeah, that's a big thing here where I'm at. Actually, my nephew is homeschooled, and they actually have a program that's accredited. So, when he's completed the program, he gets a regular high school diploma.
That's awesome.
Or school diploma. But they have little things where he can go on field trips with other families, or they can, he may go do a lesson at somebody's house or whatever, and they have a choir. They got all kinds of stuff that they do.
Yeah.
So
There's even
Can you volunteer to chaperone at the zoo?
that'd be cool.
I know someone that did
That
that.
would be cool, dude. I want
They
to
were-
go to the zoo.
They were really good at chaperoning.
When I messaged y'all on Friday when I went to that daddy-daughter thing,
Oh yeah.
that was by far the worst experience I've ever had. Like, if I don't have PTSD from being in the military, I got it from that.
Did you?
There's a guy that got shot at, and he's like, I would rather do that than
Yeah.
Yeah.
have a daughter dance.
Ooh.
Well, the tough thing is you got
A 2.
you got 2. You got to
Yeah.
do. No thanks.
At first, it was okay because we got there early, and there wasn't a crowd yet, and then it just started getting full, and there was kids everywhere,
Yeah.
and people carrying little trays of meatballs, and I'm like, this is not going to go well.
And it didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we got some pretty good comments. I'm going to go through. Sorry to
Yeah.
cut you off, Cody.
No, that's good.
Freeborn Outdoors says the unpopular opinion of what I believe to be a fact is the drifting away from Christian morals in our society. When people no longer fear God and a higher power, they have no moral accountability.
100%.
I should say. Croak says, "How about those ZeroTech optics?" Oh wait, Walsh.
Yeah,
1911 Drew's here. What's up, dude?
We'll have to save that for next week. Sorry.
Well, as a reminder, I thought 1911 Drew died like months ago because he hasn't been here. And honestly, I'll tell you the thought. I don't think I shared this last week. The thought process that went through my head was like 1911 Drew. He's like a 70-year-old guy, and he like kicked the bucket, and that's why he hasn't been on here for months. But I felt bad because every month I would see he's one of our YouTube members, so I'd see like it was renewed, and it's like his poor wife is like paying this every month.
Yeah.
Doesn't even know.
Cancel it. And
It's on
this
auto
guy's-
renew.
Yeah. Then I was like, he's like, no, I'm not a 70-year-old. What are you talking about?
What if he was in the desert with me?
Yeah.
Maybe that was it.
Guys are taking photo of each other's feet.
Yeah.
So Joe Croak says he stores an AR oops kit and a right in the rain in his admin pouches.
Oh, dude.
It's small enough that it'll fit right in there.
Fit in there.
Yeah.
Harry says, I'm not gonna read that one. Harry
Hey.
always gets in trouble.
Those big
Dude,
ones.
look at his name.
Those big ones are good for water protection. You can put them over the barrel of your rifles.
Oh yeah. There you go. Prepper Book Club says Freeborn Outdoors. Yes, if they're. Oh, I'm sorry. Prepper Book Club's. He's talking to Freeborn. Says yes. If there is no commonality of morality, then it's hard to have those civil discussions. Bailey says Bud Light, Coors, and Jack Dangles all sides of the transmissions this week. I did see that.
The
Really?
Coors?
Yeah, Coors did.
Don't do me like that.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture in the chat afterwards.
Okay.
Was it a yellow belly or
No,
yellow jacket?
It was a silver one.
Okay, maybe I can get away with it.
Your favorite libertarian. We homeschool our sons. Tons of resources out there these days. Yeah, and the other thing too, there's lots of free resources. So there's tons that you can pay for. There's some really cool ones that you can pay for, but there's a lot of free ones as well. Kayla says, I just got an Instagram post from John Lovell that his family was attending a giant homeschool convention. So there are lots of resources out there now. Yeah, it's one thing I was hoping for to see with Warrior Poet Society TV, see if they were to have more kid-focused shows, not necessarily cartoons, but programs that are geared towards that. I think that if there was going to be a conservative media group like Daily Wire's doing, dumping money into kids programs, I think you're going to see a lot of conservative moms want to go that route.
Yeah.
Getting away
I was
from
about
it.
to say Daily Wire doing it.
Yeah, but it's not really up to snuff yet. There's some other ones like BYU TV. It's a Mormon. BYU is a Mormon college out of Utah. They have BYU TV, and there's kids programs. They're Christian based, and they're free. My kids love watching those, so there's no subscription needed for that. But
Dude, I don't want my kids growing up thinking that they need to ride bicycle and go door to door when they become an adult.
I think you would
answer,
enjoy
no.
some of the cartoons that you
The
see.
answer is no,
So
Jason.
there's this one show. There's this one show. It was good for. I thought it was entertaining. It was called Granite Flats, and I think Netflix ended up buying the rights for it, and they started making it. But it started on BYU TV, and basically it was like Cold War era. There was a small town. You didn't know who the communist was, and it was the main characters. This kid, his dad was the sheriff of the town, and it was really good, like a teenage sleuthing type of TV show.
I'm going to hold any
Sorry.
comments because Jason and I go back and forth in all good fun, but not on live YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Purple Book Club says those dang trays of meatballs. The horror. What did I miss?
The meatballs were delicious. I didn't want my kids to like kick them over,
Oh,
like
yeah.
hit the people and knock the trays over. So I was like,
Dude,
Just-
what kind of father-daughter dance has servers?
Meatballs.
Dude.
Yeah, this is weird.
It was pretty nice. They had a
See,
they had a whole,
father-daughter dance are supposed to be held in the
PTSD.
gymnasium
Yeah.
or the cafeteria.
no, it was good when I was eating. As after that, where everything started getting stressful.
Big Truck says, any Easter sales y'all are looking forward to?
Dude, I found excuse me, stripped uppers for I think $30 the other day.
Okay.
On where was it? Primary Arms. They had stripped upper for $30 and they had handguard for $34.
Ooh, that is nice.
Yeah. That was I think the $34 one. Don't kill me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the 15-inch. It might have been
Okay.
42 for the 15-inch, but
Do you remember what brand?
Ghost
Oh, okay. Nice.
Ghost Firearms.
The dude says COVID and remote learning shows that central learning in liberal run schools is no longer necessary. I think they're recognizing that and they're starting to freak out. You see companies that are saying no more remote work. We got to go back to work, and you're seeing tons of layoffs now, which I think is going to hurt the economy. I mean, rightfully so. Harry, should I get a bump helmet now or save for a ballistic helmet? No nods now, but eventually I will. More for CQB training for now. Oh, that's a tough one, man. If you were to go the nod route, I mean, you're talking about thousands of dollars that you're going to dump into that setup anyways. Might as well save up for a ballistic helmet, but this is coming from a guy that has a bump helmet and no nods. So, totally up to you.
And Cody and I are both the worst people to ask, and even in the crap, we didn't wear helmets. Except for when I had night ops with nods, and I had my ballistic helmet on just to hold the nods, and I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever wore a helmet ever.
I would have wore a bump helmet because I did bump my head quite a bit.
On the
In the
Humvees and the
MAT.
MRAPs.
Yeah.
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 But we were told that weren't authorized, so I just didn't wear anything. No, I take that back. I wore a ball cap or
A
beanie.
ball cap. Yeah.
Harry, oh man, Coors 2. I'll drink Modelo.
Modelo
Yes,
is
dude.
who owns Modelo? Is it Coors or Bud?
I don't remember.
I
They
think
probably
it's
don't
That's the
own
thing-
it. They probably just
Something that
import
I was talking about at work. Like,
where they distribute it.
Yeah.
you're going to have to figure out something that, like, draw a line in the sand on a certain topic. I don't think you're going to find a company that is going to support you. And honestly, like, this is going to be hurtful to say, but rightfully so, because companies like Bud and Coors, here's their options. Their options are, one, side with the leftists who are very good at organizing and very good at boycotting, or side with the conservatives who, you know, like, what are you going
Who
to
have
gain?
the mentality of let live and let live.
Well, I'm sorry.
Like I
I'm-
struggle with it. I struggle with it because, like, okay, I'm gonna take it to music. I was a fan of Eric Church, right?
Mhm.
I'm a country fan, so I'm a fan of Eric Church. Eric Church came out talking about, I don't know the exact quote, but talking about how not everybody should have guns type thing. Like, we should get rid of guns. And my initial reaction went to be like, that's it. I'm never listening to Eric Church again. Never doing it again. You want to feel that way? Then you can take your music and shove it. But then in the same sense, I love the Constitution and the First Amendment and freedom of speech. So I'm always torn. But that's how conservatives are. Is they're always torn and like, okay, man, you're allowed to believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, it's just my point that I was trying to make is it's hard to vote with your purse strings because every company that you are going to send money to probably has a stance that you disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was trying to say with this whole transgender thing is, you know, like Bud Light, their options are like, we can have this Dylan Mulvaney on, and what's going to happen to us? The right is going to have some mean tweets, but that's about it. Chris Rock is gonna, or Kid Rock is gonna shoot some cases of beer, but really their bottom line I don't think is going to be hurt. Now, if
It
they were
wasn't.
if they were to go to flip side of that, the left is very good at boycotting. The left is very good at mobilizing, and so in my mind, in Anheuser Busch's mind, I'm thinking they're like, well, yeah, let's just do this because this is the lesser of two evils. We'd rather side with them and not have to deal with their boycott BS than, deal with some angry tweets from the right.
They're also very good at burning stuff down and not getting in trouble for it. So
Literally,
keep that in the back of your mind too. Yeah.
Valid
Peaceful protesting.
Yeah. Croak says, back on the keto, so no chocolate, consoling myself with lots of cheap AAC ammo, 55 grain and 77 grain in mass quantities. Croak
That is
says,
such a weird comment. He went, okay, keto diet, so you're not buying chocolate, so you're using your chocolate money to buy ammo? Did I
was
that right?
But why
he
is
had commented
chocolate?
to Big Truck? So any Easter sales y'all are looking forward to,
Oh,
and then
got
Croak
it.
was commenting to him.
Got it.
Croak told Harry, get the bump. Shadowman says, get the bump.
I agree.
Yeah. Harry, so there's a conversation back and forth. Any particular reason for the bump? Croak says Modelo's owned by Anheuser-Busch.
See,
He says, I'm drinking straight Bacardi then, owned by Cuban Americans.
yeah.
Regarding the bump versus ballistic, bump is lighter, much cheaper, and most ballistic helmets are lucky to stop a 9mm.
Yeah.
That
I agree
deformation
with that statement.
kill you, I think, regardless.
Yeah.
Ooh. Croak says Brownells has the SCT G19 frames on sale for $40 right now. I see those at that price a lot.
Dude,
So-
and then PSA had that deal where it's $199 for the, really
Complete
cool
slide.
dagger upper.
Yeah.
And then they had the $99.99 for the dagger lower and an AR lower.
Yeah.
So that's $300 for a complete pistol and an AR lower, and then $30 for the upper, $40 for the handguard. You're almost in there.
Ooh. Someone's been building during Easter.
Yeah.
Um,
PSA had the Flat Dark Earth complete parts kit mag pool
uh-huh.
for $89.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah, so there's your lower built out
There you go.
for $400.
The dude says Anheuser-Busch isn't even an American beer company anymore. It's Dutch. I didn't know that. Croak says companies not coming out woke get raked over the coals. Companies coming out woke lose nothing because the other side's boycotts are weak and hardly hurt the bottom line. Yeah, and
Jason.
that's
Said.
something. What's that?
I said agreeing with exactly what you just said.
Yeah, I mean it's just tough.
We haven't seen the fallout yet. So, like, say, like NASCAR, for instance. So they go up against Bud or Anheuser-Busch and drop all their sponsors. That'll hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That'll hurt big time.
But would NASCAR do that?
Probably not.
I'm thinking the whole what's the guy's name, Bubba Wallace stint, and NASCAR seems like it's going woke too.
Yeah, but we'll see. Yeah, they banned all kinds of flags and stuff, so they may be pulling pretty hard to the left, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Croak says PSA still has stock of those Holosun 407C A3 models. Dot only, no solar, $179 is a great price on that optic. I bought one, and I actually traded it. I traded it with Lev from Agilite for the AMAP 3. So now I got to buy another one. But it was a good sight, and he loves it.
Well,
he got a new pistol.
sale.
Yeah, I know. I need to get another one. I thought I just said that.
Yeah, you said you need to get another one. It's on sale right now.
I will get another one.
There
Harry
we
says,
go.
I guarantee the right drinks more Bud and Coors than the left. Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, I'm thinking of Bubba in his rocking chair at home watching this, and he's going, "This is BS. I'm not going to buy
I don't care.
I'm not going to buy Bud Light anymore." Or he's going to say, like, "I don't care. I still like the taste of that crappy beer." Or he's going to go buy Coors because he hasn't heard about the Coors stuff, and
Like me.
nothing changes.
That's what I'm drinking now. But in my defense, I bought it like a month ago. It's fine.
I'm gonna continue to drink the Yellow Jackets until this comes in a flag pattern. I haven't seen that yet, so I'm still holding
Hey,
out
what?
hope.
Hey, what about Miller?
I haven't heard
what was
anything.
something that I saw about Miller. I'll find it.
Okay. Because I started drinking Miller Lite because they had the yellow ribbon tops. Remember that, Cody?
Mm-hmm.
And what they were doing is people returning from overseas, they were giving them like ticket for them and their immediate family to like a local sporting event or something like that. It was like a welcome home. Here's a free ticket to this to decompress type thing.
Nice.
And I was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna. So for as long as they had the yellow ribbon on the tops, I bought Miller Lite.
Oh,
so Croak says Miller is Coors.
Oh dang it!
See, that's what I mean. Like, there's no way
Okay, well,
we'll never win.
I guess I'm gonna go Jason route and start drinking root beer on Thursdays.
There you go.
Hey, Croak, I
If you
did
guys
see
say,
this.
if you guys tell me that IBC is on this bandwagon, I'm gonna go Postal. You will see a despot today,
Yeah.
and I'll finally get my
because
$50.
Travis Tritt just stopped any Anheuser-Busch being sold where he performs. I thought it was slightly different, Croak. I thought he said he's not going to perform at any location that sells Anheuser-Busch.
Well, I mean, when is Travis Tritt performing anyway? Like, he was cool in the 90s.
Yeah, somebody posted that on
like,
Twitter. They're like, somebody I've never heard of is boycotting Anheuser-Busch, and it was Travis Tritt. I'm like, you've
I mean,
never
I've
heard?
definitely heard of him, but I mean, where's he performing at the county fair? Like,
He's
I don't know.
still.
I love the dude. I
Yeah.
like a lot of his songs.
They're still performing like big concerts.
Oh, well, I've yet to hear one come on the radio station advertisement.
Yeah.
Never heard him say, "Oh, get excited, Travis Tritt coming to town."
Taco Java says NASCAR has been getting less American by the year. Harry says, "Shame on you, Joe and Cody. Pour it out."
Well, mine are
I
empty.
know.
So.
Robert
I know.
First says, "Natty Ice for the win."
Ugh.
Oh, gross.
Harry says, "Not drinking anymore, and maybe just sticking to Xanax."
Hey, do you know what? Do you know what I'm gonna do?
What's that?
Bristol. Find me something bad about Bristol Brewing Company.
I don't know. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, exactly. They're
What
here
about
in Colorado
Yingling?
Springs? I can't get Yingling. Thanks for bringing up a sore subject.
So
Oldest
they're coming.
I hate
brewery?
you.
it's coming. So
I hate
Kansas has it. Missouri has it. So it's spreading. Just be
I
patient.
can't get it. Bristol
Shut
Brewing
up.
Company. Find me something bad about Bristol.
Shout 'em
What's
and
this
say, "Yes, Pop, do it. We'll make it better for you and make it 100 for you."
$100.
Croak says, "I boycott Gillette, but I use all my razor stockpile first. I'm not going to cut off my nose to spite my face." Yeah, like I have an ungodly amount of Dollar Shave Club razor blades. I'm going to go through all of them, and then I'm probably going to do
Harry's.
Jeremy's. No, Harry's is woke too. I'll do
Oh,
the
really?
Jeremy's razors from Daily Wire.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Or there's
You're right.
another one too I've heard good things about called Defender Razors. It's owned by a prior police officer, I believe.
Hey, Jason, can you make your screen the big screen right now? Like,
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
you using a razor on, buddy?
Did I shave
Neck.
twice a year? Every
You
year.
have an ungodly amount of single blade razors.
That's right.
Shave.
You
I
shave
shave
for
every-
your wife's birthday.
Yep.
When else?
And
Christmas. Christmas.
Yep.
So you'll start buying razors in 2072.
I still trim up. I use a blade once a month. Trim.
Dude, I just want to say thank you very much to everybody that's doing the super chats. We definitely appreciate it.
The dude says, "I drink local craft beer. Easier to know the owner's philosophy." That's true. That's something we talked about too on the politics side. You have a lot more say in your local politics, your local state reps, city councilmen. hold their feet to the fire, because they're the ones that are going to be moving on up and trying to become the legislature for the state. So get the people in that you like now at the low level, and hopefully they'll handle stuff nationally later on.
Dude, Laughing Lab, or not Laughing Lab, but Bristol Brewing Company, they make Laughing Lab and Mass Transit. You probably know those, Cody. But they actually bought a worn out, used and abandoned school here in Colorado Springs, and their brewery is in a schoolhouse.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So interesting. Croak said the stream just died.
Really?
We got cut. We knew it was going to happen eventually.
Well, it says it's still live. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you still see us? The comments went dead too.
Well, we're on Rumble. I wonder if it's YouTube.
Yeah, somebody reported us. We knew it was going to happen eventually.
Oh, he says it's back.
Oh, good.
He says it's back.
Oh.
It's me.
I couldn't stand myself to be able to tell Walsh that he was right.
That's what would happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can eat a lot of crow, but not when it's served by Walsh.
Hey, I heard that.
Hey,
Working.
that's a good
Tactical
one.
Java says he backed out and back. But it wasn't just him. Pepper Book Club says never died for him. Cipri, welcome. I haven't seen you comment before. Welcome. Says it's working fine here.
Okay.
Rob
Hey,
Fishkin
since we
says-
haven't seen you comment, please tune in next week. You might like the show better.
Yeah.
This is our Walsh isn't here and we get to do whatever we want show, so
Yeah.
jump back in next week. Don't judge us off of one show.
1911 Juice says no comms, guys. So maybe it was an audio issue.
Huh.
Could have been just with StreamYard. I'll have to go back and listen to it on Rumble or something.
Yeah. Are
Sorry,
we
guys.
back?
It sounds like we're back there. Everyone says now they're saying it's working fine.
Okay.
A few folks. So California Conservative says the sound was cutting out for him. Croak said it. Tactical Java. There's a couple people that had issues. For me, so Harry says I'm a member of GOA, Gun Owners of America, and they send me an email whenever there is an important issue. In the email, they even have a link that pre-fills the body and pre-fills the correct person in office to send it to.
Oh, I like that.
For me, GOA is amazing. Yeah, so I'm the same way, Harry. I'm a member for them and Firearms Policy Coalition, and they do the same thing. So
Do
it's
they?
basically,
FPC does the same thing.
so you click on the link. They'll send you links with. You have to put in like your zip code, and it tells you who your reps are, and then you can click a button, and it auto types up an email to your reps. So the latest one though, this is the first time I've tried it, and both are my two state reps and state senator. They're all Republicans. So with the assault weapons ban that's coming up here in Washington, the email that FPC auto generated was brutal. I was like, oh, I know some of these people personally. I got to delete some of this stuff because it was just super aggressive. But I understand that because I understand FPC's point of view and that you don't give them an inch.
Mhm.
And that was basically, it was a very, very spicy email. It was like, oh, I gotta edit this a little bit.
Yeah. So
That's coming from Jason. It must have been real bad.
fun fact: my state representative, my congressman, is my neighbor.
Oh,
Oh, really?
so
Yeah,
for the state though, not on the national level.
national level.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
Do you know them? Like, hey, Jerry.
No, so they're in the process of building their house.
Oh, okay.
So you should definitely start putting signs out along the street.
Yeah,
Like, hey, Jerry, pull your head out.
Is
there's
he
no
or
problems.
he or she a Republican?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Start putting their signs out.
right.
Let's see here. Croak says, I just follow FPC for the spicy memes. Yeah, dude, their memes are Amazing. Probably some of the best Second Amendment memes out there. Robert First says, it's fun. I'm enjoying hearing your all's views on all this stuff. Like Joe was saying, this is super rare for us. Usually we are talking gear and gadgets and whatever video we had out. But Walsh isn't here, so we get to do whatever we want.
And just like everything else we talk about on here, it's solely our opinions. Like, by no means are we trying to persuade you to think one way or the other. It's just, it's okay for us to have conversations. You may disagree, and that's okay.
Yeah, and we disagree. We disagree about stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I think
four of us will disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that I like about our channel is, I'll give you an example. So Walsh ranks the defensive mechanisms belt very high, and I ended up buying one, and I took it out and ran it through my course of fire at work. I probably had it on for 6 hours. I used HRT mag pouches, which I absolutely love, but the belt itself is just kind of like, I don't know. I guess I'm still kind of old school, like the Molly fed through belts. I really like those. So I didn't hate it at all. But I definitely didn't love it as much as Walsh does. I think I would like the HRT belt more than the defense mechanisms belt.
Mm-hmm.
But just gut feeling. But I think that's good that we have differences of opinion, because not everybody that watches our videos, if you read the comments, not everyone agrees with us. So
And
we have a lot of fun doing these videos.
I don't know, dude. I think it makes the comment better. You know what I mean?
So.
Like, okay, it gives us new ideas too. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I can't read some of your comments, dude. I'm afraid we're gonna get jacked by YouTube again.
And honestly, that's part of kind of what our country is missing right now is, each side doesn't give the other side a chance to talk, and so because I'm sure there's a lot of commonalities between all of our viewpoints. We just don't give each other the time to talk about them and agree. So I think, like Joe's said that several times tonight, like we need to get back to doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
ignore the temper tantrum and just carry on.
Yeah.
So Mike Farley says, I'm back. Dang, I missed so much. Stupid job interfering with my viewing of the line stream.
Right?
Hey, man, be grateful that you have a job.
Yeah.
I think we teased Tactically Stoned so much that one time. I don't think he's been back since.
Which
Remember
was
that,
his
Joe?
job? When that's the
He was the
security
one.
guy?
He was like, sorry guys, I just got finished beating off those.
Oh yeah.
Guys at the hot store. It's like,
Hey, but
how'd you do that? They're gonna be back.
Mike Finley, the good part about this is it is on YouTube and Rumble, so you can always go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
And give it a thumbs up.
Good point.
Yeah, please. Tactical Java. Have you guys done the core belt? Yeah, I did a review on that. I really like that belt. I didn't like the inner belt, but I've heard that they've come out with a Gen 2 inner belt that's supposed to be a little bit sturdier. So I may have to revisit that. I'll reach out to Core and see if they'll send me that new inner belt.
I'm terrible at review stuff because if I find something that I like, I just keep that forever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why would I change this? I like it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough as a reviewer because I'm like that, and then now I have a garage full of stuff that I would never use, and it's like now I got to go through the process of selling all this stuff or doing giveaways and shipping it out. I'm so bad at that.
Yeah, I saw my axle and it works great if anybody cares.
I still have my axle in the box.
See?
Not a surprise.
Yeah.
Is it sitting by the kayak?
No.
In this room somewhere. The dude says, I might pick up the ATS war belt for a thick padded option. Harry says, good to see you again, Cody. Do us a favor and stay off Grinder from now on. We don't want to lose you again.
Yeah.
Tactical Java. Only downside is not load bearing, so no repelling, but I'm never going to do that. I would never do that in most of the belts anyways.
What belt was that? Where that was a big, like a center point?
The Blue Force gear belt, that CHLK, the combat,
Yeah.
kilo, load rated. load
Yeah.
something belt.
For all 20 of the Hilo guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a Hilo guy, that belt is great.
Dude,
For
if
the
you're
other
going to be
350
repelling,
people-
there's just learn how to make your own harness out of the rope.
But honestly, those guys wear full on like a harness, like a
Yeah.
I don't know, 5-point harness with a monkey's
Yeah, they're
tail
not
on
looking
it.
to their belts.
No.
Why would you?
Yeah.
It's
I think I
dangerous.
thought the idea behind it was like if you're a door gunner, but even those guys, they have harnesses that they jump into.
Yeah.
They're not connected to their
You hook
belts,
it-
so
You hook it
Yeah.
up here. You don't hook it to your
Yeah.
belt.
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not doing cool stuff. I'm not jumping out of helicopters.
True.
Right. We're not cool enough for that.
True.
If I need to repel off my 6-foot fence, I'll trust my axle belt for that.
My shirt will probably be good enough for that.
Robert first says that is how the USA is supposed to work. Yeah, I think differences of opinion matter. They're
Yeah.
super important.
What's getting me back on that topic a little bit is we're supposed to be the melting pot, right? But I haven't
Yeah.
seen such divisiveness ever. And you can't have a melting pot and be divisive at the same time. I want to get back to the
Right.
melting pot.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get back to. Like, oh, they're trying to appropriate our culture, or however you say that. Like, no, they're just
Yeah.
we're a melting pot, and they're taking the best of everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, what does everybody say? What does everybody remember about 9/11, right? What kind of country were we on 9/12?
Yeah.
You know,
There was
That's
that
some-
comedian that, I mean, he used some racial stuff, so I won't say it, but he went like all the different races, they were just fighting with each other because we were bored. And then 9/11 happened, and this race combined, like a Captain Planet type joke,
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So Croak says we're not a melting pot anymore. We're school lunch trays that keep all the food in different sections.
Ooh, I love that analogy. I'm an analogy guy. That's a really good one.
yeah.
Croak says we need a remake of that '80s Sting song. New title, quote, I hope progressives love their kids too. The California conservative majority of the country is pretty centered, but the fringe is propped up to keep the country divided. Yeah,
That's
man.
what I'm saying.
it sucks.
Everybody paying attention to the kid throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
But our politicians, they always run on,
Quieting the temper tantrum.
or recentering the country, or getting rid of the divide. Biden ran on that. Trump
Yeah.
runs on that. It's always a center thing for when people are running for office. They're like, oh, I want to bring the country back together, and
Yeah.
it never happens.
Yep. You're right. I mean, that was something that I felt like, yeah, Biden ran on that, and then he gets in, and it was just like extremely divisive.
Oh,
Everything
dude,
is
day
Trump's
one.
fault.
Everything.
Day one.
But that's from the playbook. I mean, Obama did that with Bush,
Yeah.
so it's what I expected. Robert first says, side note, I can tell you the Agilite AMAP is tough as hell. I really like it. I I don't connect it into my plate carrier though, like Walsh does. I wear it as a backpack that I could easily take on and off with my plate carrier. I run it with my defense mechanisms MEPC.
Everybody
Crooks-
has to have one guy in their team that's like Walsh. And if you don't, you need to go find that guy. Because Walsh loves connecting everything into it, and he's going to carry all my fruit snacks.
Croak says, I like the DM belt because I'm all about the one wrap these days, but honestly, my core belt worked just as well, if not better in some ways. Michael Farley says, I mean, I need a new belt because I lost 30 pounds.
Dude,
That's awesome.
Good for
congratulations.
you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wearing this
oh.
plate carrier because I gained 20 pounds. And the Gray Ghost one will not. I won't even try it. It won't fit.
I'll say that core belt is nice because you cut it to your size, the size that you need. So it'll fit, I think, anyone from like 28-inch waist to a 50-inch waist. It's really nice. Tactical Java says, did you guys see what Tennessee did today? Voted to expel 2 members of the Senate, I think, for taking part in the riots in the Capitol last week.
Yeah.
That wasn't an insurrection, though. That was peaceful protest.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
Yep.
Okay.
YouTube, we said it. We said it.
So Caleb says, I would say what we're seeing is the divide and conquer method.
Mhm.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, this is so. Robert first says he's a 15-year-old and a high schooler going to JROTC daily.
Oh, good
Dude.
for you.
Some of the comments you made, like this is how the USA is supposed to work, and it's
That
I did not think that you were a 15-year-old. So
that's refreshing.
We'll try to keep our
Yeah.
bad language down.
And
We do anyways.
Once we
We do
get off of
anyways.
here, go give your parents a hug for raising a good kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
appreciate
you tell
that.
them. Say, hey, these guys on YouTube said, oh, his son is a 15-year-old.
Oh.
Oh.
There.
Well, good on your son.
Mhm.
We,
Well,
we
still
appreciate
go
you.
give your parents a hug if you
We
can.
appreciate you raising a good kid.
Yeah. That's awesome to hear. I will say I was genuinely impressed. I think it was last night. My 15-year-old daughter had a like midweek Easter lesson for the family that she put on. She had us reading scriptures and talking about, what do you think that scripture means to you? And it was extremely. I did not tell her to do it. I didn't ask her to do it. It was just like, hey, we want to do this, Dad. Can you come down here and sit down and let's discuss this? It was extremely refreshing to see my daughter come up with that all on her own. So I'm hopeful of the future generations.
Yeah, that's good. Because it got a little bumpy there for a while,
Yeah.
for like 30 years.
So Croak says the core belt will cinch down if you lose weight. Ask me how I know. And you can cut it shorter if you lose a lot of weight. Yeah, I like that. You can't go up, but it's pretty easy to go down.
Yeah, you can't cut back. Like, it's like wood in that aspect.
So Mike Farley says, I've actually had to cinch my K19 all the way down and move the hooks in a little so it fits snugly.
Dang,
if you have
man, look at all the people doing the right thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mike, one of the things you might be able to do, you can get that Grim Hunter K19 cummerbund adapter, and then you get a different cummerbund so you could tighten it up if you wanted to. The 1911 Drew says, while Joe drinks beer using a straw.
Yep.
He has
Yep.
to.
I'm feeling really bad about my life right
Brooke
now.
says, that beer ain't going to suck itself. The dude, Robert First,
Oh,
don't let him
okay.
talk to military recruiters without you and a lawyer present.
Or TLD.
Yeah, have us there too. Robert First says he's a single dad and angry as hell.
There you go.
And I'll just say, be careful with that. Like, I think kids will pick up on if you're angry or frustrated all the time. One of the things I've talked to my kids about is I had to sit down with them and I said, look, if I can raise you to be critical thinkers, then I succeeded as a parent because I want you to be able to see things and not be disrespectful about it. Like Joe, I think, is a really good example about this because Joe can be very respectful but question authority. And that's something that I think our kids need to know. They need to be able to question authority but respectfully.
I had a saying that I raised my girls with, and that was to anybody. I don't care if it went to us, to her teacher, to anybody that they came in contact with. I always told them that you can say whatever you want as long as you do it tactfully and respectfully.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I've said that to them until I'm blue in the face, and
Yeah.
they've done good.
You can always say whatever you want as long as you say with all due respect.
Right. I said with all due respect. Thanks, Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby taught me that.
He says he already knows, but thanks. Yeah, man, I think it's important to let your kids know. Like, let your kids
Yeah,
know.
we're not bashing you, Robert. We're just talking in general, man.
No, and I think it's important. Like, it's good for your kids to make mistakes now when they're under the care of you, rather than wait till they're 10 years out of the home and make the same mistake.
Mhm.
And then they're calling you from half a country away, going, "What? I don't know what to do, Dad." Like,
No.
have them make mistakes and be a good parent, willing to listen and take them under your wing and talk to them now. Get them to be a good critical thinker. The dude asks, has anyone seen or tried the Tier 1 EDC belt yet? I have not.
I like how the dude said, I know, and then Jason explained it again.
What?
Jason,
No,
he
Robert
knows.
first. Robert first said he already knows.
Yeah. And then
Not the
you
dude.
explained it again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. He already knows, but do you know?
Welcome to our life, Robert.
Croak says truth. Open contract with a very high ASVAB score. They made me a grunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marines, man.
There was lessons learned that day, wasn't there?
Yep. Lots of them.
Yeah, so Mike Farley says he was thinking about looking
Like
into that.
the green
company.
crayon doesn't taste like apple.
Oh, this is interesting. Croak said they wanted me to be a tanker at first. Ended up getting intel with the TS clearance and Rangers, but it took a lawyer.
Heck yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. I'm reminded of this quote: "Be polite, be professional, have a plan to kill everyone in the room."
Whose quote
General
is that?
General Mattis, I believe, right?
Yep.
Dang. I don't get this one though. He said, like him. So this is Robert talking about his 15-year-old son, like him taking on a bench and lost.
Oh.
Did he fall? Trip and fall? I don't get that one. Oh yeah. So Prepper Book Club says, so ready or not, is that going down this weekend? I got to ask Walsh. I don't know. The plan was, I was going to be on here and just managing comments, while Walsh and I think he was talking with Croak maybe about doing ready or not. Maybe someone else having a gaming night this weekend.
Yeah.
If Walsh,
worry,
I told
Cody.
Walsh.
We don't get invited to those things. We're not cool enough.
Hey,
Yeah, he's got a computer now.
I got a big boy computer now.
Yeah, get on Steam, and
Yeah.
download Ready or Not. It's
I'll
fun.
be possibly installing the short throw shifter and Corsa exhaust into my car.
That's way cooler, actually.
You nerds have fun.
Croak says, I actually went in thinking I was going to be an enlisted navigator in the air wing. Recruiter had me put that down as a preference, not bothering to tell me that they only school every 2 years. Ooh.
Dang. That would have been cool, though, an enlisted navigator? Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
That would have been awesome.
I went in with a guaranteed job, but I had to sit in delayed enlistment for a long time until 9/11 kicked off. Then I was at basic a month later.
Oof. Yeah, so Robert first said, yeah, his son did fall and trip and hit a bench. He got 4 stitches.
Ooh.
Croak says, yeah, ready or not, on the evening of the 8th. And it's a holiday weekend, so Friday is Good Friday, Sunday is Easter. Might need to schedule around that for a game night. I thought it was the Saturday, the 8th. But we're at the end of our live show. We got through an hour and a half, guys, without Walsh.
Yeah.
So let's go around the room this last 90 seconds. You got anything, Joseph?
No. I still have an OLED if you really want me to do that video, but
Heck yeah.
nothing.
We could use the help. Cody, man.
Nothing.
Kodiak.
Hey, I just want to say we appreciate you guys coming out. I know this is a little different than normal. I know I've been gone for a while, but we appreciate you guys coming out every Thursday and hanging out with us. But just know that if you are new, this isn't a normal thing. We don't talk politics every week, so come back next Thursday and check us out again.
Yeah, and next Thursday, drop in the comment, like, man, this show sucks compared to last week. Walsh must be running it. Let's get that started.
Yeah, we'd appreciate that. So, like Cody was saying, guys, we appreciate you being here. We're here every Thursday, and we always have a good time. This has been going on over 2 years now. Consistent every Thursday night. We have a live chat, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern time. No one cares about Mountain time.
Yeah,
Right,
that is
Jed?
true. That is true. No,
8:30.
dude, every show on TV does Eastern and Pacific. And if you can't figure out what time that is for you, then move to the coast. You belong there.
Ooh, nice. The dude says, I've got my advanced rifle class at SIG headquarters next week. I'll post updates. Hey, we've done this in the past. The dude, if you'd like, open invitation, I'll throw it out. If you'd like to come on and chat about your class, we'd have a good time listening to you.
Yeah, that'd be
But
awesome.
with that, guys, we will say see you next time and catch you next Thursday. Adios.